Yep. Upside down, we put the camera nearer, a little bit more angle.
Hello, hello. Hi. Okay, hi, you're watching Gregsby Eats and we're here at Lucky Plaza to talk about Lucky Chicken Rice. Now, before the COVID-19 pandemic hit and people still went to the office to work, the chicken rice stall behind me, let me show you, that one there, okay? The chicken rice stall behind me would be buzzing every single weekday with long queues during weekday lunchtimes. Why? Because the chicken rice here has got incredibly well-balanced flavors and the prices here are pretty reasonable given that the eatery is located in the heart of town, Orchard Road. The eatery was started in 1991 by now 73-year-old in 2022 Hainanese Lu Liet Wang, and Lucky Chicken Rice is tucked away in the corner of the inside row of the second floor of the shopping centre. It has been located in the same spot in Lucky Plaza ever since its opening. When the eatery opened, Lu initially employed a cook to handle the orders, but quickly took over the reins to make the chicken rice himself. Lu retired from cooking in 2010 or so, delegating the cooking to his staff, but he still pops by the restaurant every day to check on the quality. So come, let's have a taste. Hello, 可以 order food 吗？
就那几个人说。
哦，那这个。Okay, I've already placed my order for chicken. Oh, white chicken here. Okay. So I placed my order for some white chicken, some tauge, some chicken liver. Oh, thank you very much. I pay you first. No, huh? Okay, alright, okay. Okay. That was the owner, Mr. Lu. Now actually before I start, let me explain. Okay, now before the pandemic, right, Lucky Chicken Rice was actually hugely popular with tourists, office workers and locals for its chicken rice because it ticks almost all the check boxes as to what a good chicken rice should be. Okay, so let's try the chicken first, okay? So what I have here is that I've got one plate of the ti wei, which is this. So that's one plate of the ti wei, which is basically duck meat lah, in a way. And I've got one plate of the ti siong, which is breast meat. Okay, so let's go for the coveted ti wei lah, okay, which is this one here. Actually, the piece I tried wasn't as soft. Let me try another piece. Okay, so the chicken meat is well done. Sometimes it's pretty soft, sometimes it is less so. That's how it is. So it's dressed in a very basic soy and sesame sauce. Soy savouriness, ginger notes, a bit of oil notes. You've got a bit, very tad amount of sweetness. Quite balanced. It is on the lightish side. So the flavour of the dressing is actually quite straight ahead lah, with very little sweetness in the taste. It's got a bit, but not too much lah. And that's quite rare because a lot of chicken rice stalls, right, they actually make it a bit more sweeter than this these days. So trying the breast chicken. Comparing ti wei and ti siong, the duck meat and the breast meat, I mean the textures are similar to what you get at any chicken rice stall. So it's tender and juicy if you order the meat close to the bone, ti wei, and a bit dry when you order breast meat, ti siong. Note that when you order chicken rice here, just white chicken, they'll actually give ti siong by default. You have to request for ti wei when you place your order if you want the duck meat. Now for the rice. Wonderful. Oh my god. Now the rice is nice. It's good and it's nice enough to eat on its own. It's got oil notes inside, fairly bouncy texture. It's got chicken fat richness inside. It's got slight salt savouriness. As with most chicken rice stalls, obviously you can get the chili. You can get the chili, the ginger, and you can get the duck sauce lah. Now the chili first. Oh, okay. Chili is quite spicy, it's fairly smooth, it's not rough textured, and it's got a soy savouriness to it. Very nice actually. The ground ginger. Okay, The ground ginger is basically minced ginger. It's got a bit of sesame oil flavor. Very slight salt notes, but that's it. And the dark soy sauce. Looks fairly thick. Nice thick caramel flavored, smoky and sweet, but it's not overly sweet. Very slightly sweet, very nice. But here's the real strength of this stall, okay, is that every element of the chicken rice is very well thought out and balanced. So every individual component of Lucky's chicken rice, the meat, the chili, the ginger, and so on, tastes good on its own, but also tastes good when you eat them together. So this is what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to get one ji xiong. Oh yeah, by the way, all the chicken here is boneless now. So you add this. So there's some chicken, some chili, and some rice. Oh my god. Next bite, I'm gonna add some dark soy sauce, some ginger, let's say, and some rice. Well, I covered it, but it's all underneath there. Try something basic, okay? Got some of the dark meat, and just the ginger, that's it, and some rice. So the whole point is that no matter what you add or mix or eat on its own, right, it still tastes good. Nothing tastes under-flavored, nothing tastes overly flavored. The chicken tastes good on its own or with rice or even with a little ginger added. The chili and the rice also taste perfectly nice on its own. So I'm going to take the chili and a bit of the rice. Just rice and chili, that's it. And it tastes good on its own. So what this actually means is that the owner has really thought through what it actually takes to be a good chicken rice. Because the problem about chicken rice is that everybody eats their chicken rice differently. Some like it with chili, some don't like it with chili, some eat it with black sauce only, or with ginger only, and so on and so on. So to actually manage to think out a dish such that it can actually be eaten in so many ways and still taste good is actually quite a feat. And on that note, here is how much thought this eatery has placed on their dish. Even the cucumbers that come with the chicken are tweaked, and in a nice way. See? These are not ordinary cucumbers. So they have their skins on, but it's not local cucumbers, but actually Japanese cucumbers or Lebanese cucumbers. I think either one of the two. So the skins are nice and green, and there's a nice firm crunch to them. Now I also ordered some chicken liver. That's what it looks like. And you mustn't miss the chicken liver here. It's dressed in the same basic soy and oil sauce that the meat is dressed in. Oh my god. So good. Incredibly creamy, very, very soft. It's really worth it. Okay, the last dish I ordered was the bean sprouts, which is this. So these are basically bean sprouts, and they've been blanched or lightly stir-fried with some lightly blanched cuttlefish and topped off with some spring onions and fried onions. Oh. Lovely soy flavour, slightly sweet, oil richness. You've got onion flavours inside. The cuttlefish, sometimes cuttlefish can be a bit too hard. This is not. Very nice, pleasant softness to it, but it's not flavoured. But that's okay because the rest of the dish is actually nicely flavoured. And also, don't neglect the soup on the side. Very light roundness. It's got ginger flavour too. Very good. Sometimes they put the winter melon cubes and spring onions. Not today. Okay, finished. So what I've eaten are all the big highlights at Lucky Chicken Rice but I do want to come back here to talk about the other offerings. So I'll see you in a few days. Okay. Shh. 你有开吗？开了。你开了 ，OK。嗨，你好。我可以叫吗？给我烧鸡尾啊，还有青菜。青菜。青菜。油菜。Yeah, let me get a few things sorted. Some chili. Got some more sauces for the ginger and some dark soy sauce as usual. Okay, I'm back at Lucky Chicken Rice and I've ordered their roasted chicken rice, salty, wei, which basically means all the dark meat lah. And I ordered some gizzard and I ordered some just simple vegetables in soy sauce lah. Okay, so let's not waste time. So trying the roast chicken first. So for those of you who don't actually know, right, roast chicken in a chicken rice stall context, right, the chickens are not really roasted, but they are fried in oil, then chopped, and then in the case of Lucky Chicken Rice, they are drenched in a soya and sesame oil mix. As a result, it's got a lovely fried oil-rich flavour, but the meat for roast chicken tends to be drier lah, as opposed to the white chicken. That's how it is, so it is a trade-off of sorts. That said, today it can be a little dry. No, okay, it's fine. Some bits are dry, some bits are soft. And it helps that it's been soaked in the soya and sesame oil mix. So that also helps to make it not dry and more moist. So the roast chicken is pretty decently good, but the reason why I'm here for a second time is really for this. Which is really for their chicken gizzard lah, you know. So trying a piece. Oh, okay. Okay, today the chicken gizzard isn't as soft as it could be, which is a shame. You know, it's crunchier rather than softer. Some people like it crunchy, some people like it soft, you know. I prefer it a little softer, and I have had it softer here before. And then of course it is drenched in a soya and sesame mix lah, which is nice. Okay, next, green vegetables, or rather what they call vegetable in oyster sauce. So these vegetables in oyster sauce, they are basically Shanghai greens. They're blanched and they're drizzled with the same soya and sesame mix, but with some added soy sauce inside. That's why the sauce is darker lah. Crunchy vegetables. You've got a more intense concentrated sauce. Oh, you've got very interesting fried onions also. Because if you look carefully, I think they do fry their own onions. I could be wrong. This is not the usual fried onion look. I probably need to ask him whether he gets it from a supply or he fries his own onions. But it looks as though it is actually fried on site lah. So the last time I wasn't able to show you the soup with the winter melon cubes. But it's here lah, basically. There you go. Soup with the winter melon cubes. Okay, finished. I actually ordered 2 plates of roasted chicken lah, because I'm a greedy boy. But generally for a large eater, you should be thinking about ordering 2 plates lah, because the portions aren't exactly the largest in the world lah. The chicken gizzard is unfortunately a little bit too tough for me today, because the previous times I've actually eaten here, right, the chicken gizzard has been great, fantastic. But what to do? So aside from chicken rice, right, Lucky Chicken Rice also sells some noodle dishes. So I'll be trying those in a few days time. So see you in a bit. Bye bye. Hello, 你好，可以叫吗？
可以可以，
可以叫chicken 火饭，还有一个水饺面。
一个水饺面，一个chicken河粉。
可以谢谢。
河粉你要烧鸡和白鸡？
白鸡啊。
白鸡哦。
可以谢谢。Test. Okay, I'm back again at Lucky Chicken Rice, and I've ordered their noodles and hor fun. So you can basically have whatever topping you want, okay? The shredded chicken, the spiked chicken, roasted chicken, or dumplings with noodles, or hor fun, sort of thing. And I also ordered the gizzard again, because I wasn't so sure about the tenderness last time, so I ordered some classic dishes lah, okay? There's basically the dumpling noodles, and there's basically chicken hor fun. The chicken hor fun is not the shredded chicken, but it is wei. Basically a plate of wei on the hor fun lah. But first, let's get this clear, okay, whether the chicken gizzard is actually soft or not. Still not as soft as sometimes I've eaten it, but it's a better improvement. Okay, next. Now first trying the dumpling. A fair warning that whenever I've eaten their dumplings, right, they haven't been the best in the world, and they're all right, and they're not a big highlight here. Okay. See, the skins are, a bit thick, and the fillings are alright, it's fine. But they're not like overly generous or anything. And in one plate you get 3 or 4, something like that. You can have it with chili or without. Let's try it without first. You get noodles, it's dressed in some form of light soya sesame mix. And then there are dumplings, there's vegetables, there's spring onions, and they have their house-made fried onions, which are actually a big attraction. I can't believe how good they are. They're really good. So just trying the noodles. It's a delicate flavour of soya and sesame mix. And then there's obviously that wonderful fried onion flavour. And you can actually taste it throughout the dish. If you have it with chili, this is where it actually ups the game a bit more. So they have the chili on the side. So they've got this chili sambal on the side, and it's savoury. You've got medium savouriness, or rich. It's got a slight sweet tinge, very slight. And I can't decide whether it's got dried shrimp or not. If you add the chili in, right, it's going to up the flavour a lot. So I'm going to add the chili. Yep, might as well mix the whole thing in. So if you want it really, really delicate, don't add the chili in. If you want it a little bit more robust and flavorful, right, you add the chili in. And that's what I'm going to do, because it tastes really good with it. I'm actually surprised actually how good it is. So the chili will obviously give it more spice, more oil richness, a little bit more of a savoury body. And then when you bite into an onion, it's got that wonderful onion taste. Next, chicken hor fun. Okay, classic chicken hor fun. They use slightly different gravy, obviously. It's a little bit more gooey, and it's with chicken, and the chili is the same, I believe. Yes, it's the same. The gravy alone. The chicken looks softer today. Softer today. The tenderness of the chicken is not supremely soft, but it has a little bit more bite to it. Trying the noodles. Bouncy, slippery, not soft at all, wonderful. You've got a wonderful onion flavour as well. And the fried onions really make a big difference. So the hor fun, it's got this gooey soya-based gravy on top. It's got medium savouriness, a bit of oil richness. Flavour is a little bit more robust than the noodle version. And then it's got chicken, well, I ordered chicken. It's got chopped spring onions and fried onions and some green veg. So, trying everything at once. It's a pretty sizable amount. And actually with the chili, I think it'll be damn good. So I'm adding the chili in as well. Usually maybe it has a dried shrimp base to it. I'm tasting it now. I don't know why I taste it more in the hor fun than in the noodles, but okay, anyway. So a pretty decently sized dish for the money. Changing back to the noodles. So a bit of dumpling, a bit of noodle, a bit of vegetable on top, and there you go. The flavour is lighter than the hor fun, but still very nice. So I got some more noodles here, and some chicken, and some vegetable on top. I'm actually enjoying the hor fun much more than the noodles. The hor fun has got a great savoury flavour and spicy, and there's that bouncy hor fun going throughout, and the chicken pieces are nice and bitey with a decent amount of tenderness still inside, and that fried onion flavour. Okay, finished. Dumpling noodles. The noodle sauce is pretty alright, but the dumplings are alright lah. You know, they're not like the best thing in the world. But what it does have is it's got a wonderful spring onion and fried onion flavour going throughout the dish, and that's the main highlight. The chicken hor fun. The gravy is nice and gooey, and it's a little bit more robust, and it pairs well with the chili. Maybe it's a little bit more on the slightly savoury side, but still very nice. So the main highlight, of course, is the spring onions and the fried onions on top, because it really puts a lot of taste and aroma to the dish. So I'm going to come back to Lucky Chicken Rice just to try their last item, or rather their last two items. They've got some chicken porridge and they've got some braised eggs. So see you in a few days. Hey, hello. 你好。OK， 好。好，谢谢啊。 Okay, we're back at Lucky Chicken Rice for a final time, and this time it is just to show you that they also serve porridge here lah, you know. So you can choose shredded chicken, century egg, or mixed. I chose chicken and century egg today lah. And then it looks fairly thick. And then I ordered also some braised eggs, just to show you that there is the option to order soy braised eggs here lah, you know, if you want to. But as for the porridge itself, it looks as though it is done kind of like Hainanese style, where the porridge is not completely smooth like Cantonese, not completely whole like Teochew, but it is sort of like in between lah. And it's fairly thick. And then there's some spring onions, and they have their wonderful homemade fried onions, and they put some sesame seed oil on top. So I'm just going to mix this first. Okay, it's not bad. Actually, it's growing on me. Wow. Okay, the seasoning is on the light side lah. It's a very gentle savouriness, very gentle oil richness. So if you find the flavour a bit too light, right, you can actually ask them for white pepper and soy sauce lah. So how savoury you want it to be really depends on you lah. But it tastes very nice. Very homemade, and then it's got lots of nice spring onions, and of course that wonderful fried onion aroma on top. Then of course there's the peitan and the chicken lah, and they're fairly sizable chunks, as you can see. And then of course the peitan will add more richness. The chicken, not dry, it's actually fairly nice and soft. I like a little bit more soy sauce lah, so I'm going to add some in. A little bit in, a little bit of pepper. That's a little bit more. And what's nice about the porridge is that it's got a very nice homemade feel to it. The porridge consistency is just right. It's got a nice mix of thickness and wetness. But I have to stress that the porridge is on the lighter savoury side. So for those of you who are used to the porridge offerings at the hawker centre, right, you do need quite a bit of soy sauce to actually bump it up to that level. So the next one, just to show you that they have these soy braised eggs. So these soy braised eggs, they are in a very, very dark soy sauce mixture, as you can see. And you can order them if you want to. Oh, right. So it's bordering on just tasting like dark soy sauce, but very nice. Okay, finished. So that was a look at Lucky Chicken Rice, which is, in my opinion, probably the best chicken rice to be had along Orchard Road. The only downside is that Uncle Lou is getting on in age lah. And I think that none of his 3 children have expressed interest in taking over the business as of yet. So the business might be sold or closed down once Lou fully retires. So would I travel half across Singapore to eat here? It is a very close yes. I mean, there are plenty of great chicken rice stalls all across Singapore, and good chicken rice is one of the dishes that Singapore has no shortage of lah. But if you're shopping in Orchard Road or working here or spending weekends here, and you're looking for a great value for money, no frills option for lunch, right? This is the best chicken rice you can get right here. It checks all the boxes. The highlight obviously is that the stall really pays attention to the really small details, like the cucumber and the fried onions, which actually bring a wonderful aroma to every dish that they put it in lah. As for their other dishes, the hor fun is certainly worth ordering. The noodles are alright, you know, it's nice, but I wouldn't travel half across Singapore. The porridge is also nice, very, very homemade feel, but I wouldn't travel half across Singapore for it either. So thanks for watching another episode of Greg's Beat Eats, where I eat through the whole of Singapore. If you like this episode, give it a like, subscribe, comment below, turn on the notifications bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.